G'day and welcome back for more Survival Impossible. And last time I kind of felt a bit more on the impossible side of things as I attempted to make that motorbike down there and make it work well, which didn't really work at all. I then spent a bit of time this week and thought a bit more about it and read all your comments and took them into a stream over on my Twitch channel and have come up with a design that I'm pretty happy with and is actually quite robust. It still operates primarily on two wheels, but one of the very common ideas and very good ideas that was suggested was to place 1x1 wheel suspensions downward on each corner, similarly to how these bump ones are here. Uh-oh. Why am I hurting? Why am I shooting? Oh no, 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 no. Ah! Bad! Bad! Getting shot! Getting drones! Oh man! Ow! What did those bullets hit? I need to get my health back and I need to get some O2 bottles. And that sparrow is very, very close. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about... totally broke my train of thought. I swear bullets were heading towards this. Huh. Huh. Oh no, it seems okay. No! Oh no, that's alright. Maybe the bullets were heading towards me. I'm gonna go check out the turrets, make sure they're okay, since they just saved my life. Oh man. Please don't shoot at me. Oh, they shouldn't, because they're not shooting at this stuff. Turret is okay, and turret is okay. Well, that nicely feeds into what I was planning to do today, which was get this base a little bit more robust. Right now, it wouldn't take many bullets for this thing to get torn to shreds, to basically be a whole big smoldering mess, as well as my survival kit being here and being quite exposed. So, two things I need to do today. One is go collect some resources so that I can build up the base, and two is build up the base. And if I get time, I will also move this survival kit underground somewhere. But if I don't get time to do that today, I'm going to move the survival kit and build my better motorbike next time. We'll just see how it goes. But the main thing, given I just got attacked, is to get this base a little bit better prepared. So that's going to require a fair bit of iron to build up the walls so that at least there's some sort of covering for this stuff around here, plus an extra couple of turrets. I'm going to investigate this thing on foot, since it is only 150 meters away. Hopefully it can't shoot me. Looking promising. You can see its thruster going. Ooh, made a mess in this snow here. There's a bit of stuff left. Oh, ammo! Yes. Now, I'm not really ready to go and, use the thrusters that are on this to build my own vehicles, but eventually I will start repurposing the stuff that I get from these wrecks directly, so using their blocks whole rather than grinding them down and then repurposing the materials I get. I was just thinking, even if I don't manage to get the survival kit underground, if I can get enough of a roof here and enough extra turrets here, it will be a bit safer than it currently is anyway. So there's at least a small advantage to what I'm doing regardless. And back to the old tradition. Bye-bye, gravel. Oh, you're going to stay there, aren't you? Just before I started recording, what I quickly did was set up the Goofy 2 so that it would be charging the batteries from the hydrogen engines. And let's see how it did. Small batteries didn't do a huge amount, but it's better than it was. I think these were down to about 80 kilowatt hours, so that's something. I've now got to turn them all off from recharge to auto. Then lights on. And now what I need to do is turn on all of my iron GPSs. Okay, so let's start with the three nearest, which I think are all in that direction. Yep. Cool. I was going to add a small grid ore detector to this, wasn't I? Before I go. Putting it somewhere in the middle here makes the most sense. Maybe just there. And I can stick an antenna if I ever need one out the back. And it should be good. Let's turn on my wheels and start driving towards FE 1.57. I'm debating whether I bother with the underground bits of iron or whether I just try and do this in the quickest way possible and skim them all off at the top with the trailer still attached. Because that is much quicker, and I could just go around and collect each of them that way and then bother with the underground bit later. I guess I'll see how full I get. That probably makes the most sense. I think I am just going to be skimming these off at the top. This has already gotten pretty heavy. I haven't even fully carved this one out yet. Just softening the front end, see if I can skim off a bit more and get a bit of snow as well so I can use my hydrogen engines a bit more. Got a ladybug coming in. I should probably start heading home then. How are we looking? Okay, drills are full. Let's head home. Oh, because it was steep. Where's home? Home is this way. Oh. Okay. I am heavy. I have my trailer wheels on. Wait. I do have them on. Yeah, I've got them on, and they are not enough. This could be a problem. Let's up the friction a bit. See if that'll get me home. Home is that way. But it doesn't help being on a surface where only 4 of my wheels touch the ground. Let's start losing some weight then. I'm clearly carrying some stone, so I'm going to ditch it. Because I am too heavy. Oh, come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Maybe. Go. 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 I think this is the worst hill. If I can get over this, it'll be better. Come on. Come on. Yes. Yes. Oh, my connector got shot up. That's what got shot up. No. Oh, I knew some bullets came raining down. I just didn't know if they hit anything. Oh yeah, brought back plenty of stone and iron. Okay. I think... Oh, that thrush is coming straight for me. Alright, you. Let's take you out on a careful run. No, 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 don't start off by knocking that out of the way. That's not okay. Let's see if I can keep this alive long enough to get away. Just ensure that I don't have to face another drone quite so soon. I feel like I may have moved far enough away. Yeah. No! No, 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 no. Sparrow incoming. Okay, I have to get back to my base. Oh, I didn't make it. Oh, down goes the Sparrow. Base must have shot it down. I didn't even see the blip of the thing come up. I'm still hearing gunfire. Why do I get the impression that this thing is shooting at something that's already dead? Great. Somewhere off down here and I don't know where. No, I'm not going to go hunt it at night. I'll hunt it during the day. Go investigate later. For now, what I need to do is make a whole bunch of steel plate. And probably a bunch of interior plate too. And a bunch of construction components. What? What are you still shooting at? It's dead! It's already dead! You don't need to keep shooting at you silly thing. Ugh. Now, to build the corner bits, I want to think a little bit about how I want to design these things. With the turrets having to sit out that little bit, I think I might build some sort of end bit that sticks up and out. And maybe even do the same along the outside edge here. At least for a few blocks, and then come down. So what I'm thinking is something like, if you just imagine it up the top, something like this sticking out until where the turbine comes down, and then around the front, it'll be something similar, except it'll come in 2 blocks and leave a bit more of an overhang. Maybe. Oh, no, it won't leave an overhang. It'll just be the 1 block out and 1 block round. And then I can use something like either the 2x1 tip to cover up the conveyor block. So, in terms of width here, I probably want to leave enough room inside the building to have a space past the upgrade modules for the assembler. So it'd be... Let's grab some interior blocks so I'm not wasting stuff if I place this in the wrong position. blocks is that across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that'll do, actually. I'll do it on this row. So it is here, where I will build my corner bit with the turret on top. And then we need to keep going down this row. So my production facility building is going to be pretty big, but that's to be expected. It is where all my production facilities are going to be, and that's going to be one of the biggest buildings on the base. And then the garage will be the next biggest building. And the garage would probably be the building I do straight after this. So what I'm thinking for this rear wall is maybe we'll go out to 3 blocks. So have an interior wall in the middle and then have kind of 2 pillars of armor plate, and then using the 2x1 bases, bring this back to a slab. And then wherever I choose to put the door, I'll have it. So for this side it should be one of those, then one of those. In fact, I may not even put a door on this side, to be honest. I may just go with that as my wall shape, just to give it a bit of interest and to make it so it's not a big giant flat wall. Also, this indentation should cover up the fact that I've kind of embedding myself in the tree, and just, you know, give it a little bit more room around it. So what I need to do now is head up the top, and I think I'm going to place down that turret. I probably should be trying to build my whatchamacallit, my come on brain, my lifting vehicle. I haven't quite gotten around to that idea yet, as I build in the branches of the tree, which may look strange later and may cause me to want to knock down this tree. Now, I think I can survive that jump. And if I can survive that jump... Oh wait, I know I don't need to survive that jump, I need to survive this jump. Hop down there, weld that up. Hop down again. Ow. Okay, that one did hurt. But I should just be able to hop down off the top and weld each layer as I go up, which should work. The next 2 are going to be conveyors. So around and around and around I go. Nuts. I also just thought of a flaw in this plan. I'm now too high to safely land. I'm going to try and jump onto the survival pod. Oh. Phew. I wasn't sure how much I'd get injured jumping onto something further down. Did not think that one through completely. What to do about all the vehicles for now? I suppose I could decide on a location for the garage and at least lay out a floor and then build a connector system and pipe it up. That mightn't be such a bad idea. I don't want it orientated the same direction as the existing bit of the base. I'd like it to make this place look a little bit more haphazard, even if it is deliberately a bit haphazard. But maybe something over here would work. So what I'm going to do, so I can figure out piping and connections between these buildings, that sort of stuff. I'm going to lay out a bit of the area. Okay, let's expand off this way. Grab a few more interior walls. It's so nice to have enough iron that I can feel justified in doing what I'm doing right now, which is using up stuff just to get an idea of the layout. So I was thinking if the corner of the garage is somewhere like here, then... Oh, that tree. Need to come a bit further. Yeah, about there. So if the corner starts here, I'm going to need to have at least enough room to build a vehicle. And I may not park all the vehicles inside, but I want to be able to park the Goofy 2 in the garage and maybe have a bit of space inside for building some sort of... well, building another vehicle. And I need to make sure that the entryway to the garage is on fairly flat ground, so I might need to rethink this a bit. Maybe I'll have the entryway come in like that. Yeah, that could work. That's a much better idea. Let's bring this across to there. Make this sort of a bit of an L-shaped kind of vehicle. Kind of building. bring it relatively close to the existing part of the base, to the production facilities. Oh, it is so much easier to get a grand concept of something when you're able to fly. So yeah, I'm thinking here as one corner. Have my garage door come across this way, which means I should be able to, because this ground is slightly uphill, just build a flat entryway, which would be perfect. 8 blocks should be enough. I'm gonna have to knock out that tree. That's sad. So we're coming in here. I could probably make most of the internal floor out of interior walls. The external stuff will be made out of armor plate, just in case it takes any hits. But the interior stuff can definitely be interior wall, where it's a bit cheaper to build. So my reasoning behind building this expansion, or at least laying out this expansion first, is if I'm going to move that connector, I want to do it once. I don't want to have to move it twice. I don't want to have to deal with that side of things on multiple occasions. And I'm probably not going to not move the piece that's there. I'll leave that there for now.
Energy
And maybe
low.
move it later if I can, but I'm going to try and design something a bit more purpose built for this hangar space. So my thought was bring it down this way and then wrap it around to the side here, so I could have a construction bay or a connection bay over here. I can have another parking bay in here, and then if I'm needing more space than that, I should really be building a separate hangar somewhere else, not expanding this one. 7 blocks wide along that axis, and then bring this down and around to the other corner. And that'll give me an idea of exactly how big this thing needs to be. And if I wanted to just make it square, as it turns out I probably
Energy
could.
critical.
Or if I wanted to put a separate entry on. The other thing I can do at a later stage is for smaller vehicles I could make this segment airlocked. But I think what I will do is anytime I open the hangar doors, I'll have to evacuate the whole space first. Making a vehicle-sized airlock is just huge. But yeah, this hangar thing, I'm not planning on building today. It's something I just wanted to lay out so I could move the connector, and once I've moved the connector, I can move the trucks out of the way and try and complete the production facility. So that it can have a roof and I can protect the stuff that is critical to me rebuilding from any attacks. So if I've got 7 across here, I'm going to want my connector somewhere in the middle here. So to facilitate that, I want to put... Do I want to go underground connectors, underground conveyors to connect these buildings and then just do... I think I kind of do. I don't really want to have to be constantly repairing aerial conveyors. So, my first bit of drilling in this base. I'm going to want to have a conveyor coming up out of the floor, hooking up to an advanced rotor, which will be slightly off-center. It's probably on that block there, because then I could put either a curve, although I may put a junction. Yeah, if I put a junction, then an advanced rotor wherever you are. Advanced rotor on there. Add the small head and conveyor across. Just put, so what I'm thinking is something like this. Single bend off to the side, another bend coming off that, and then a connector. Because that should be able to get up and down enough to deal with the small grid vehicles around here without being overly complex or large. It doesn't take up as much space as a piston. Takes up more length here, but that's not too big a problem. And then I'm gonna have to start drilling. So I'm gonna need to go deep enough. Oh, Splitsie, you idiot. I did it again. Oh, I drilled straight down. Okay, I know how to get out of here. Let's just drill underneath this conveyor. Snap to the local grid. Give me a slope. Climb up. Grind that. There we go. Ugh. I'm gonna need stairs going down to how I do this. That's kind of cool. I'm actually going to have to build proper access ways for all of my stuff. I hadn't even contemplated that aspect of this. That really excites me. Looks like I've already refined everything. How much iron have I ended up with? 24,000 in the assembler, 5,000 in that refinery, and 9,000 in the connector. Right. Yep. Got enough iron for a while. Conveyor system. It's directly in line with this elbow, which I could break and put a junction in and go down through the floor. I then need an access way. Need to decide where my access stairs would be put. Maybe next to it would make sense. So if I grind off that, start putting down these, I should be able to climb down beside my construction. Oh! That's right! I don't have to use full width stairs anymore. Yeah, let's not use full width stairs. So, because we've gotten a few more blocks, what I can do, if we start with stairs there, I can then put the... this... Wait. No, I want the... end, yeah. Because then I can put an end down, and then I can dig down and put the other half stairs, and then I'm taking up much less space for my stairwell. And I could probably do the same with my exterior scaffolding setup, because I think it'll look a lot better. I've got enough pieces on me. I might just quickly make a GPS where that other end is so that I know that I'm heading in the right direction, even though I should be fairly confident of that due to placing blocks down. But just so that I pop out at the right height. Forgot about the half stairs. I'm so glad I remembered them before I got too far ahead. Then I need to basically just keep coming down, placing the stairs as I go, if I can. Which I can't off that, so let's place down an interior wall along this edge to give us a mounting point for the stairs. So graded half stairs there, then end piece the other way round. I want to go a couple of blocks deep just so that this doesn't end up becoming exposed later on. I might take three bottles down with me this time, I think. Just to give myself a little bit more time before I run out of O2. Because this sort of building does take quite a bit of time. I have to be quite careful with my drilling. I have to fiddle with different odd attachment points that some things have and some things don't. I don't think I can place the stairs here, the ones that I need to. No, so they won't attach there, but so if I go a little bit deeper, place that, I should be able to place my stair against there, which goes the other way, and perhaps get my grated catwalk end there, which should allow me to place that. Yeah, perfect. That's what I was hoping would happen. So I can now walk up the whole way in a spiral staircase. Nice. And that is plenty deep enough, so I'm going to call this the bottom. And later on, I fully anticipate drilling this out a bit more neatly. But, you know, that's probably quite a ways off, to be honest. And I'm also going to have to figure out how I airlock this thing, now that I've realised what I've done, which is basically put a hole in my base. So I may end up, in fact, that does mean I have to do this differently. I'm going to do this all as junctions, because I can put an airlock at the bottom of this, and that way I just have to build in the walls around it to make this airtight. Then there'll be another conveyor junction, and just for a very simple airlock to begin with, just the double doors. Hopefully I am not too close to the surface, given that I am digging in snow, not rock here, which does worry me that I'm a bit close. I'm so happy to be doing some proper building around here and making this, starting to get this to feel like an actual base rather than a collection of vehicles hanging around a wall. I'll have to put some sort of airlock in at the other end eventually, but that's distant future talk. Yep. Alright, I'm going to dig down from above and hope that I do come into this tunnel. Oh dear. What have I done? What have you done, Splitsie? Think before you dig. No, what have I done? Oh, there it is. How did I not see that before? Okay, I have connected the tunnels and dug a whole lot extra that I didn't need to dig. But that's fine. I can now build this network of pipes and have a connector that will work and then I can remove the other one. Start by grinding off this curved conveyor tube here, making sure it is still linked another way. Then get this one built, and then queue up all the others. I think the assembler got full of nickel. I mean, got full of iron. Why isn't it grabbing that nickel? You've got room now. It can't, because I disconnected it from it. Drat! It got full, and then it couldn't grab it. I need to ditch this gravel. Started a little gravel pile over here. I thought this was steep enough. It was nowhere near, so the gravel's just sitting there on the ground. Put the other one with it. Then they can have company. There we go. Now we can get the motors. And in a second, I'm gonna wish I'd paid attention to the orientation of that. That conveyor sign is gonna bug me. It's not as bad because the oxygen's weirdly off that way, but it's still gonna bug me. Oh, I do love the fact that they've made these stairs work so you can more properly have them wrap around. And the little top pieces that you need so that you can have the correct railings for the top half was something very much needed. I love that the no jetpack thing is actually giving me a reason to build a lot of the stuff I built in my survival maybe base, the underground stuff that I did eventually get some detail work into. It makes sense to have these stairs and stuff going down there when you can't just fly down there and easily get back up. That was the sort of engineering stuff that I really, really wanted out of no jetpacks. Although, it's technically not no jetpacks, it's just very, very weak jetpack. Because I do still want to have the jetpack in space. And that's because I would basically just die repeatedly from drifting off from whatever I was doing up there. Which actually reminds me, I need to get a wriggle on and get to space. Because space should have some silver. And some silver would mean that that survival kit would not be my only one. And I think that makes it worthwhile going to early. I guess the tick box list before I try and work on going to space would be get this production facility protected, get the survival kit underground and protected, get the motorbike working so that I can escape quickly, and that's kind of all I need. Everything beyond that is not probably, unless I'm missing something, I probably am, but there probably isn't anything beyond that that's as important as trying to get a second medbay up. Plus, the convenience of having an actual medbay is usually well worth it. So yeah, I guess before I even build the garage, I should probably build a launch platform for a rocket. I don't need to go up there with much, I just need to go up there with enough stuff to survive long enough to find some silver and then return. I can even plan for an unpowered return, so using parachutes to get back. But given daily needs, given the amount of oxygen I consume, all that sort of stuff, I am going to need to plan fairly heavily. But I should put that rocket relatively high up the priority list. And that ladybug is fine. So if I think about it brutally honestly, what sort of time frame do I really think I'd be able to get an effective launch to space in? First off, one of the things I could consider is an antenna and remote based launch, which would mean I wouldn't need to worry about the daily needs stuff up there because I'd still be down here. And with a drone, I could take a few more risks and probably make it a bit smaller. Also thinking an unpowered return would be fine, since I'd then be able to drive to wherever it lands and pick it up. And I'm also thinking staged rocket is the way to go here. Something with an atmospheric stage, which I can hopefully recover and re-merge onto the next rocket. Then hydrogen stage after that, which should hopefully work if I can get the parachutes working and all that stuff set up properly. The other nice thing about making it an unmanned launch is I'm going to need to build an antenna, I'll need to have enough power for the antenna and all that sort of stuff. And it kind of feels right in this circumstance where I don't know how much force and how much work it's going to take to get to space to send something unmanned first. I don't have Cat back here, so I've got to send something that is expendable. I quite like this new rotor-based style of mounting these things. It's quite neat. In some ways the piston is neater, but it's nice to try something new. I want lots of interior plates so I can place out this floor and then move my trucks over onto it. So what I'm doing is having this surface face up rather than the flat surface for all the way around, which is a pattern that I often go for because I find that it's quite nice having those emissive strips around the outer edge to kind of give that effect of a warning strip around the outside, and then I'll go the other surface for all of the inner area unless I need some other lighting at some point. I'm probably going to need to think about welding this up at some stage, not in the too distant future. The reason being that if it gets shot in its current state and my wheels of a vehicle is sitting on the block that gets shot, it could make getting out of that spot a little bit difficult. I'd say for now it's probably a little too expensive to consider welding the whole thing up when I haven't even got my critical components protected. And if I did get stuck, really the worst I'd have to do is grind away a bunch of the blocks so that I had a clear path out. So, not a tragedy by any stretch. And I'm going to try and get the Goofy 2 onto there straight away. Let's see if I can reverse up that little lip that I've got. I reckon there's a good chance I can. Oh yeah. Yeah. High friction on block surfaces is very high friction. So you can get this weird behavior that makes driving actually more difficult than driving on voxels. I should be able to connect to the other one now and bring it up onto this platform. So it's out of the way and I can get my building complete. Gingerly, very, very gingerly do this. The most gentle of mouse movements, the most gentle of acceleration and braking. Okay, connected. Whew. Gee, that's nerve-wracking sometimes. So I should just be able to leave this over in the corner here for the time being, which will keep it out of the way and allow me to connect to the other trailer and change up as I need to. Now I have room, and I'm seriously contemplating just grinding this off, and I think I'm gonna need to make sure I move the goods somewhere else though. I was thinking I would reconnect this up somehow properly later, but honestly I think it's gonna be more work than it's worth. How am I gonna get up there? I think I might be able to do it from here. Maybe not. Might need the Goofy for this. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh yeah! Parkour king. There we go. Only injured myself a little bit. Do you know what I'm quite tempted to do? Just leave a hole in this wall about the size of the survival kit and build the roof over the top of it. I know that's going to stop the solar panels from working, but it's awfully tempting for the time being, as I don't really have a means to move this, although I could make this very easy to move. Slap a remote control on it, slap an extra pair of wheels on it, and just drive it as a vehicle itself. And that makes a lot of sense. Maybe that's what I should be setting up for after I build these four corners. Yeah, and I think it will be. Ow! I walked off the wrong side. Parkour king, I said, huh? That was a mistake. I need to get up a little bit higher, and I think the way I might have done it with the ones on the other side was by having a railing that I stood on top of. So then I can place this turbine, hopefully. Hopefully not fall off the other side of this railing, because, you know, this is clearly the sort of thing that would be allowed with occupational health and safety. I can't believe that happened as I was saying it. Oh, that's too good. Oh man, I'm building a ladder or a stair or something. Yeesh. That's too funny. Good job, Splits. Good job. There we go. That's the safe way to do this. Yeesh. Oh, if I'd found underground cobalt, I would totally consider making the top roof of this in heavy armor. Require an incredible amount of steel, but once it's done, this thing would be a lot more robust. And it may be something I'll consider in the future, is replacing a lot of the armor in this building with heavy armor. But for now, it's not really a viable option. I may well also cover the flat roof with solar panels. Even though being flat, they won't be super efficient. It's still an area that it kind of, I don't know, it feels like it makes sense to do that for them, so that I can at least get some power production off that surface that would otherwise be inert and not of any particular use. I'm likely not going to do it in the most efficient pattern. I will do it in my usual style of, I want to make it look pretty style. I'm definitely liking the idea, and a few people had already suggested this to me, of just making the survival kit vehicle drivable. Putting 4 wheels on it, make it so I can drive it separately. It will mean I'll have to carry enough oxygen to walk back from the mine, but the price you pay. And my power production is doubled. Ooh. Just under doubled, because I think I've interrupted their flow with each other a little bit. Well, the Goofy 2 trailer batteries are a little bit low. That's not good. Definitely going to need to up my power production. I think I need to at least make the roof out of armor plate, not out of interior plate. I know I've placed down a lot of interior plate, but that was just because I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to lay things out. I think to realistically protect the stuff that's inside, I need something that has a bit more impact resistance. So that means armor's the way to go. Eventually replacing this with heavy armor. The thing I need to figure out is whether I want this to be a single skin, so on the inside will be visible, if on the inside will be visible. And I think the answer to that is going to be yes. Which means deciding where I'm going to have... Or is it? Oh yeah, it has. I think it has to be. Oh, maybe that is a mistake. Maybe I should just go full cubes, and then if I want any detailing on the inside, I'll have to occupy the inside space a bit more. Because then, if I end up putting, like, half slabs, that's half as strong. Yeah, I'm going full cube. Full cube, and I will deal with the detail on the inside. It appears the solar tower on my survival kit is getting in the way. I may need to grind that down. So getting rid of these solar panels is going to put me under a bit of time pressure in order to get this underground and build the support structure that's necessary for it. But I think it's time. And that means the start of next episode will be focused on getting this thing up to... Well, not up to. Getting this thing underground, and it'll be almost certainly in the nickel mine because it's the only one with enough underground space already. Okay, that looks a lot better in white than it did in red. The red was a bit too much, I think. More than halfway through the roof. And I think I'm more than halfway through my iron supplies too. But we'll keep on going for now. See if I can get this whole roof finished. Paint this block, and the roof is flat and boring and complete. So I've done the thing that I've said you shouldn't do about 1,000 times, and the thing that I hate doing, which is create a giant flat surface of armor, but the roof is complete, and that should protect the components underneath a fair bit better from any gunfire that happens to get directed its way. The thing I'm going to do to break up the roof is place a few solar panels up here. So I'm thinking, how much space have we got? So a solar panel is 4 blocks long, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I guess I could do 2 back-to-back through the middle here. Mightn't be a bad way to start. And we've got, how wide? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't really want to be walking on the solar panels. I feel like that's a bit weird. So what I may do, or what I will do, is this. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll do 3 the other way. That'll at least break up the roof a little bit and give me a little bit more power. If I want to, and depending on how I do the end pieces, I may be able to place another 3 along each end. In fact, maybe I just should. And I'll make it so that I can walk around the ends. Yeah. Even though this won't track the sun, they should still provide a moderate amount of power each day that will make the effort that goes into their construction worth it, I think. The joys of building solar panels just after the sun's gone down. Makes it feel like your efforts are really worthwhile. I'm kind of glad that solar cells don't take as long to produce as they used to. This would have taken ages, because solar cells used to be one of the slowest things to produce. Looks like I've got enough silicon and enough iron and nickel, so I'll be able to build at least the first 8. One thing I did notice while... Whoops. One thing I noticed while building this thing is one of the earliest blocks I need to get constructed is this corner conveyor junction. If I don't get it built, a single shot can knock out that turret, which would be obviously upsetting. So that will be one of the early things I try and get sorted. Probably with a climbable crane vehicle or something along those lines that I would need to build. Yes, I just did think of another thing I have to do to get everything up to speed. Probably prior to any rocket launch, because I'll need such a crane vehicle in order to construct any launchable craft. And there we go. That is 12 solar panels and 2 extra turbines added to the list of power production on the base. Hopefully during daytime I will be able to get some decent charge on all my batteries. What I also did was weld up these wheels a little bit more so that they've got a tiny bit more resistance to being shot, but also because I prefer the look of having the solid steel tube rather than having the complete just empty wire frame. And a roof. I have a roof. I don't have walls yet, but I do have a roof, and I will be able to get on to building those walls very soon, as well as hopefully a proper refinery in not too long, so that I can refine stuff with less power cost, at least for a while. There are so many tasks to do, but I have a vision now. The vision is towards a rocket and turning off my lights when I get out of vehicles. So there's all that, and plenty more to come, and I will see you then.